I think that there's a lot of fear right now in cinema. There's a lot of fear with distributors or studios as to what are people going to come out to see.
Craig Brewer, welcome to Screen Off Script. We're here today to talk about your latest feature, Song Sung Blue. And let me just firstly say, take a bow, sir, because this was a tremendous film, one of my favorites of the year.
Oh, wow.
And
Thank you.
there's a range of emotions going on in this movie. You know, it's a tragedy, there's a punch to the gut, it's a romance. Yet I still kind of left the cinema feeling pretty optimistic and uplifted by the experience. Can you just first talk to me about how you came across this real life story?
Truly by being curious about a documentary that I went to a small film festival, and there was about 3 of us in the audience, and I went in thinking that it was just going to be fun, you know, watching this movie about a Neil Diamond tribute band, and then this incredible story started to unfold. This filmmaker, Greg Coase, made Song Sung Blue, the documentary about Mike and Claire, this kind of local sensation in Milwaukee. But their love story just, there were elements in it that just seemed almost like unbelievable, that if I'd written it as like a narrative, as like a fiction, that people would say that I probably went too far. But I too felt like, I can't believe that so many obstacles to what they want, so many tragedies came up in their life, and yet they still were resilient, and they were still so committed to each other as a family that I felt inspired, and I felt like this would be a really inspiring movie, and it's got the Neil Diamond, you know, catalog that I could really have some really exciting music in it, but also try to remind people about, you know, the kind of movies that we used to see that would inspire us and make us feel good about family and about communities, and not necessarily thinking that success comes from fame or fortune, that you can really achieve everything you need in your life in your own small town.
On that note, I feel like movies like this just don't get made anymore, and if they do, it's few and far between. Why do you think that is in the current climate of cinema, and how did you get this made?
Well, I think that there's a lot of fear right now in cinema. There's a lot of fear with distributors or studios as to what are people going to come out to see. And usually that's wish fulfillment. Usually it's people with capes or people with shields and superhero movies or franchise movies or IP, you know, things that are familiar. And so anything that involves real people, I think, is a little bit of a risk. I think that's why every studio turned this project down. I mean, it really was Universal and Focus Features that could see what I wanted to do with it. But as much as people complained that why are we keep making these same movies over and over again, it's really about an audience needing to respond and react. That being said, I just don't think that, we've seen these kinds of movies in a while. About real people, people that are relatable, and also, I gotta admit, like I didn't find any cynicism in this couple when they were just going after their dream. There was no snark in it. There was no ulterior motive to what they were doing. They just wanted to entertain people. They just wanted to be happy. I think that it's okay for people to want to see those stories and to remind ourselves that, with all the problems that we may be having in the world, we can still aspire to this kind of grace and this kind of hopefulness.
The entire cast is tremendous, but really led by Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. What was it like working with the two of them?
Well, it's truly a dream come true. I mean, Hugh Jackman is everything that everybody says. He's just the kindest man, giving, but also someone who wants to do a good performance and do right by the subjects. And this movie meant a lot to him. I mean, every day he was really up on a high wire. So was Kate. And what you need is you need a net, and we found that net in each other. The 3 of us really came to this movie all in a certain place in our life. I think we all have, we have kids that are now getting older. We have, we're all like experiencing, new lives and new positions with wondering what can we do now, in our late 40s and 50s. And luckily, that's what the characters in the movie was going through. And so it was every day just a joy to watch Kate and Hugh off camera being each other's coach and backing each other up. It was really inspiring.
I've heard you call Hugh an ally for you on this project. Could you just elaborate on that for me?
Well, for a movie to get made, you need a star to say they're going to be in it. And luckily I had that with Hugh. But that's not really where he was an ally. He was an ally because he understood what kind of place these characters came from. If you go to see Hugh Jackman on Broadway at like Radio City Music Hall, yes, he's entertaining. But what's really magical is to see his audience. His audience is coming from Middle America. His audience is coming from like the South, coming from like Ohio and so many places that aren't necessarily New York and Los Angeles, the hotbeds of entertainment. There's something that Hugh understands with that audience and that they are getting from him. And they love him. They think that he's genuine. He wanted to make a movie for that. For those people, and he means it. He really, in his heart, has a respect for people who work hard and people who may not have much, but he's there to entertain them, and he loves them genuinely.
When people go to the cinema to watch this, what are you hoping they take away from the experience of Song Sung Blue?
Well, I hope that they, first of all, are entertained, and I hope that they feel a great sense of inspiration at the end of it. But to be honest, like if I had like one thing that I wish that they would take home with them is there's plenty of musicians, there's plenty of local bands in your communities right now, and they need you. They need you to go see them in bars, go see them at venues. They need you to buy their shirts. They need you to put some money in their tip jar. But I think above all, they need you to say, I'm a fan. I like what you do. There's so many, and they really need our support. And I think that it's much more rewarding to be rewarding your local artists than necessarily constantly putting money into global artists who have made it and are millionaires.
And finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Hustle and Flow. It's been 20 years since that incredible movie. As it's kind of celebrating that landmark moment now, 20 years have gone by. Can you just look back and reflect on what that moment in your life meant to you? And how do you think that film has aged over the years?
It's wild that this movie is still around. I remember, rest his soul, John Singleton putting his house up for Collateral with Stephanie Elaine, my producer. And we were just hoping that movie would be coming out on DVD at Walmarts and Targets. We did not expect it to win an Academy Award for 3 6 Mafia, but even more so, we hadn't expected it to be on TV. I live in Memphis, Tennessee. We have an NBA team, the Memphis Grizzlies, and when we are down in the points and we want to like rally the audience, the whole crowd starts chanting "Whoop that trick," and it's just the wildest thing. I showed the movie to my daughter, and when they started singing "Whoop that trick," she went, "Is that what this is from?" Like it's wild when something you make kind of transcends its own self and starts influencing all these other things. I'm so grateful, and I feel a little bit of a full circle making Song Sung Blue. They're odd brothers, Hustle and Flow and Song Sung Blue. The only difference is, Hustle and Flow was where I was at that time. I was young, I didn't have any kids, I was really hungry and desperate to make it. This is about parents. This is about Song Sung Blue is about a family, and that's where I am right now.
Well, I loved it, and I wish you all the success as it hits the cinemas.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's a pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.